Greater freedoms for those who are vaccinated. That is what the Prime Minister is pushing states to adopt as pressure grows for Australia to open up. Let's go live to Jonathan Lee in Canberra now. Jonathan, good morning. This comes as the airline industry also joins the chorus and perhaps controversially.
Pete, good morning to you. Yes, they've joined the chorus, not for the first time. This is all part of the push to lift restrictions and give Australians greater freedom, a roadmap that civilian Australians and businesses desperately need. These comments come from Virgin Australia's boss, Jane Hrdlicka. Let's bring them up on the screen and show viewers what she's had to say. She says when she talks about the virus, there needs to be a change of narrative. It will make us sick, but won't put us into hospital. Some people may die, but it will be way smaller than the flu. We're forgetting the fact we've learnt to live with lots of viruses and challenges over the years, and the government has to learn to live with this, and sooner than June 2022. Now, Scott Morrison in the past 24 hours has also given an indication of perhaps where our next freedoms will come from. And it's easy to forget that even within Australia, there are still a number of restrictions with states locking borders down. Here's Scott Morrison talking about the ability for Australians to move interstate without being thrown into chaos.
Those next steps are for Australians to be in a position when they're fully vaccinated to be able to not be subject to any domestic restrictions that are put in place by state and territory governments, that they might be able to travel with different types of quarantine arrangements on their return.
Now, Pete, we know New South Wales has been doing the bulk of the heavy lifting when it comes to bringing Australians back into the country and doing the quarantine. They're also trying as hard as they can to be the leaders when it comes to the vaccine rollout. Gladys Berejiklian has also given an indication of how many people she believes need to be vaccinated in New South Wales before we can start having conversations about international travel.
Well, certainly in New South Wales, we know that we need to do at least around 10 million jabs to get the majority of our population vaccinated. We have around 6 million adults, and you'd think at least 5 million should be vaccinated before we can have those conversations. So we're edging towards 1 million jabs. We're working as hard as we can, and I think once New South Wales has been able to undertake around that number, we can start considering those policy issues.
And Jonathan, there are some concerning figures out this morning too about the number of people in disability care who have been vaccinated so far.
Yeah, Pete, we're starting to learn more about this, and you can bet your bottom dollar this is going to be a far bigger issue today. There's 26,000 people in Australia listed with a disability. Only 834 in residential disability care have received a jab. Bear in mind, the vaccine rollout now has been going on for months. This is supposed to be part of the 1A category, who are supposed to be at the front of the queue. Not nearly good enough, you'll think, and you can expect the politicians and chief advocates will have more to say on this front. Pete?
Jonathan Lee, thank you.